Acapito. Like octo onions. That'd be really funny if I actually clicked the screen. Yeah. Oh, sweet. No. I mean, I'm down going to... I mean, I'll be down going again after, but that's where, like, Bailey and I get our dinner, since you're joining later. Yeah. So I'll be down going again, but, yeah, that's... Yeah, I was saying I'm down going again after. Like, I'm down going twice. It won't be one time. Dude, I love the Dawn.
Online is doo-doo. Why don't you use fire?
I mean, I can. This might be a good time. I don't know what he's weak to, though.
I say you should try fire.
Yep, see what hurts him more. Okay, so looks like I don't have the runes, because knowing me, I died.
How much it does do? How do you get?
I think you just pick it up. Huh. I mean, that's all. Literally, their purpose is. I mean, that's what I did. I got ruins. All right. Need level 3 more level 8 smithing stone. Go see. Whoa.
Lag.
I just did like, I gotta do like a lower lag run. Rebel. Huh. Oh, when they drop a bell, they also... So D's bell bearing, like, even though he's dead, like, I give her the bell, and so I can still purchase his stuff. Oh. 6, 7, 8. I need 3. Wrong way. Oh, wrong way. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's not talking about like the book chronicles, but there was a text at that time which they wrote down like the information of the of the kings and ancients. What's up?
Not to take it out. Put the spatula back in.
Like a silly goose.
I almost read.
Hmm. Oh yeah, that does look delicious and tasty. All right, I should probably upgrade my incantations so I have stronger incantations. I need one more 6. Oh wow. I can get the Lore's Divine Fortification. Greatly increases holy damage negation for self and allies. Let's go against anything. Ooh, increase physical damage negation. Yes please. Sign me up. I always do this. This way. It's like how they have this. It looks like a fully enclosed room. And so I just go this way and go, oh wait, that's not the right way through. Yep, now I'm gonna upgrade my finger seals. Level 6 was that? 6-6. Hmm. There you go. Sevens. What can I say? I always come back to the Buster Blade. Deuce, 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 deuce. Feel the pumping. Pump, 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 pump. Feel the pumping.
Now.
2 8s.
Now.
4 8.
Now.
6 8s. Super hydrate, please.
Now.
There we go. I see one more ancient dragon smithing stone. I'll have maxed out clawmark seal. So
What's that?
it's the things that do the incantations. Mm-hmm. Okay, he does not do lightning. Alright, I'll go through each one of these and see which one he is most weak to. I think blood fire probably best. Blood flame. Try that one. Actually, poison. He's pretty alive. We'll do poison. Do you remember where? Oh wait, no, we're no longer here. We're back at the mountain. We're no longer really. Erdtree Sanctuary. Does that sound like? Yeah. Oh. Precise. Didn't know this was a bedchamber until I read Queen's Bedchamber. That is a very uncomfortable bedchamber right there. Hurts my neck just looking at it. Like I'm legitimately getting neck pains. That's fine. Ah! I have 2 other controllers if you'd like to try them. Oh yeah, you're right. I don't have any PlayStations. Hey, love. You get my message? Oh yeah, thank you. Ooh. Yeah, and it hits multiple times. Oh, okay. All right. Let me buff us up. All right. Let me. All right. Oof, oof. Oh, that got me. From like top HP. Oh man. Dude, calm your horses, my friend.
Yeah, you calm your.
That'd be interesting if he is. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, I was.
Hmm. Oh. Nice. Oh. Oh, I'll try rolling.
'Twas nobly fought.
I don't need the grace since we're just fighting a boss. All right. Well, it's nice. All right, I'm coming. We're at the time to do reading. Actually, and let's do that. Since he's here, they give you the Bio Project card. But okay.
I will.
No, I mean this is where we're at. We are at the Ezra Nehemiah. We're at Esther.
The Book of Esther. It's one of the more exciting and curious books in the Bible. The story is set over 100 years after the Babylonian exile of the Israelites from their land. And while some Jews did return to Jerusalem, remember Ezra and Nehemiah, many did not. And so the Book of Esther is about a Jewish community living in Susa, the capital city of the ancient Persian Empire. The main characters in this story are two Jews, Mordecai and then his niece Esther. And then there's the king of Persia, who's something of a drunken pushover in this story. And then there's the Persian official Haman, the cunning villain. Now, this is a curious book in the Bible, mainly for the fact that God is never even mentioned, not once, which might strike you as kind of odd. I mean, isn't the Bible about God? But this is a brilliant technique by the author, who's anonymous, by the way. It's an invitation to read this story looking for God's activity, and there are signs of it everywhere. The story is full of very odd, quote, coincidences and ironic reversals, and it all forces you to see God's purpose at work, but behind the scenes. Let's just dive into the story. The book opens with the king of Persia throwing 2 elaborate banquet feasts that last a total of 187 days, and it's all for the grandiose purpose of displaying his greatness and splendor. On the last day of the banquet feast, he's really drunk, and he demands that his wife, Queen Vashti, appear at the party to show off her beauty. She refuses, and so in a drunken rage, the king deposes Vashti and makes the silly decree that all Persian men should now be the masters of their own homes. Then he holds a beauty pageant because he wants to find a new queen. This is like a really bad soap opera. But it's right here that we're introduced to Esther and Mordecai. Esther hides her Jewish identity and enters the beauty pageant and wins. And the king is so obsessed with Esther that he elevates her to become the new queen of Persia. Now, after this, and even more serendipitous, is the fact that Mordecai just happens to overhear 2 royal guards plotting to murder the king. And so he informs Esther, who in turn informs the king, and Mordecai gets credit for saving the king's life. Now, right here from the beginning, God's not mentioned anywhere, but this all seems providentially ordered. What is it that God's up to? You have to keep reading. We're next introduced to Haman, who's not actually a Persian. He's called an Agagite. He's a descendant of the ancient Canaanites. Remember 1 Samuel chapter 15. The king elevates Haman to the highest position in the kingdom, and he demands that everybody kneel before Haman. Well, when Mordecai sees Haman, he refuses to kneel, which of course fills Haman with rage. And when he finds out that Mordecai's Jewish, Haman successfully persuades the king to enact this crazy decree to destroy all of the Jewish people. And to decide the date of the Jews' annihilation, Haman rolls the dice. A die is called pur in Hebrew. Tuck that away for later. 11 months later, on the 13th of Adar, all the Jews will die. Haman and the king then have a drinking banquet to celebrate their really horrible decision. So the focus now turns to Mordecai and Esther, who are the only hope for the Jewish people. They make a plan that Esther's going to reveal her Jewish identity to the king and ask him to reverse the decree. But approaching the king without a royal request is, according to Persian law, an act worthy of death. So in a key statement, Mordecai, he's confident that even if Esther remains silent, that deliverance for the Jews will arrive from another place. And then Mordecai wonders aloud. He says, who knows? Maybe you've become queen for this very moment. Esther responds with bravery, and she purposes to go to the king with her amazing words, if I perish, I perish. Now, in what unfolds, we watch the ironic reversal of all of Haman's evil plans. So Esther hosts the king and Haman at a first banquet, and she says that she wants to make a special request of both of them at an exclusive banquet the following day. So Haman leaves the banquet totally drunk, and he sees Mordecai in the street. He fumes with anger, and he orders that a tall stake be built so that Mordecai can be impaled upon it in the morning. It seems like things can't get any worse for the Jews and for Mordecai. But all of a sudden, the story pivots. It just so happens that night, the king, he can't sleep, and he has the royal chronicles read to him for good bedtime reading, and he just happens to hear about how Mordecai had saved the king's life. He had totally forgotten. So in the morning, Haman enters to request Mordecai's execution, and the king in that moment orders Haman to honor Mordecai publicly for saving his life. So now Haman has to lead Mordecai around the city on a royal horse, telling everyone to praise him. Now this moment in the story, it's a pivot for the whole book. It begins Haman's downfall and Mordecai's rise to power. Watch how this works. The day after is Esther's second banquet. So the king and Haman arrive, and Esther informs the king that first of all she's Jewish, and second that Haman has enacted a decree to murder her and to murder Mordecai, who saved his life, and to murder all of the Jews. Now the king's had a lot to drink, so when he hears this news, he goes into yet one more drunken rage, and he orders that Haman be impaled on the very stake he made for Mordecai. It's ironic and a grisly way for Haman to go. Haman's execution, however, doesn't solve the problem of the decree to kill all of the Jews. So the focus now turns to Esther and Mordecai as they make a plan to reverse the decree. They discover that the king can't revoke a decree that he's already made. So instead, the king commissions Mordecai to issue a counter decree. On the appointed day that all of the Jews were supposed to be killed, the 13th of Adar, now the Jews are ordered to defend themselves and to destroy any who plotted to kill them. Then Mordecai, Esther, and Jews everywhere hold banquets and feasts to celebrate this new decree, and Mordecai is elevated to a seat beside the king. Eventually, the decreed day comes, and the Jews triumph over their enemies. First, they destroy Haman's family, and then any other Persian officials who had joined in Haman's plot. And then on a second day, they get permission to destroy any who plotted against them throughout the entire kingdom. This results in joy and celebration as the Jews are rescued from annihilation. The story then tells about how Esther and Mordecai established by decree this annual 2-day feast of Purim to commemorate their deliverance from destruction. And the name of the feast comes from Haman's dice. Remember, Purim. The book concludes with a short epilogue as Mordecai is elevated to second in command in the kingdom, and we are told now of his royal greatness and splendor as the Jews thrive in exile. Now, step back. Notice how this whole story has been designed. The story was full of moments of ironic reversal, but we can now see the whole story is structured as an ironic reversal, right down to the details. So the king's splendor and feasts and decrees are mirrored by Mordecai's splendor and feasts and decrees at the end. Esther and Mordecai, they first saved the king, but now in the end they save all of the Jews. Then you have Haman's elevation and edicts and banquet that gets reversed by Mordecai's elevation and edict and banquet. And then at the center, you have Esther and Mordecai's planning scenes, and then Esther's 2 banquets that act as a frame around the greatest moment of reversal in the whole story, Haman's humiliation and Mordecai's exaltation. Beautiful. Another fascinating feature of this book is the moral ambiguity of the characters. There's a lot of drinking and anger and sex and murder, of which Mordecai and Esther are a part. Not to mention their violation of many commands in the Torah, like marrying Gentiles or eating impure foods. And so the story's not putting Mordecai and Esther forward as moral example, as if it endorses all of their behavior. But they are put forward as models of trust and hope when things get really bad. And so the book of Esther comes back to that question with which we began, why God is not mentioned. The message of this book seems to be that when God seems absent, when his people are in exile, when they're unfaithful to the Torah, does this mean that God is done with Israel? Has God abandoned his promises? And the book of Esther says no. It invites us to see that God can and does work in the real mess and moral ambiguity of human history, and he uses the faithfulness of even morally compromised people to accomplish his purposes. And so the book of Esther asks us to be willing to trust God's providence even when we can't see it working, and to hope that no matter how bad things get, God is committed to redeeming his world. And that's what the book of Esther is all about.
All right, takeaways. So, is God at all mentioned? No. And so, what we see is, even though he's never mentioned, what's happening behind the
Still
scene?
at work.
He's still at work, even in all the confusion, because they're in exile. They're not in Jerusalem. They're in Babylonian captivity, or Persian captivity right now, because the Persians took over. And so what's crazy is all these plots to kill the Jews got reversed, right? And then, like, it does this structure, this reversal structure. It's really cool. It shows it as a comic book because it's easier for our brains to see it. Here is the king being honored, and here it shows Mordecai being honored. And actually, sorry. Oh, go ahead.
So, the 3b to 8b, it shows them wanting to kill the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
But when Mordecai is the king now he is wanting to save all the Jews.
Well, he's still not the king, but he was elevated because he pretty much Haman's spot of honor right here, Haman's spot of honor now becomes Mordecai's spot of honor. And so then a decree that Hanan made is now reversed, and Mordecai works the decree. And so all the feasting and leads to where Mordecai is in his place of honor, and actually he sets up 2 feast days. And actually Purim is still celebrated to this day. It's I've been told by people who go to Purim who are, Jewish ethnicity, that's their ancestors. Huh? Where? Well, he says it's a pur, so it's a dice in the ancient time. But then maybe I think that's like the toy that you see a lot of people get during this feast.
Yeah, it looks a lot like a dreidel.
So yeah, here's the Jewish holiday. Purim toy. Interesting. Like, it's called a Purim dice right there. So yeah. And gosh, it even shows that today because I think especially in United States of America, like there is a lot of crazy morality. Not like a lot of people say they're followers of King Jesus, or they're Christian because they live in America or whatever. They have good, righteous thoughts, but a lot of moral ambiguity happens. And it just shows like even like with the lack of faithful commitment to Yahweh, he's still at work. That gives me hope. Gives me hope that my righteous king is still ruling. His will is still advancing. And he's not opposed to partying, because I like to party.
Like this isn't the point. Despite exile, God's absence, and Israel's moral compromises, God has not abandoned his promise.
Yep, he has not abandoned his promise, and that is to bless the nation through the Israelite people group, which then you see cultivates the Israelite people group, becomes King Jesus, who King Jesus becomes the banner representative of the Israelites, who then the promise to bless the nation through the Israelites, it gets revealed through King Jesus.
Now I just wonder, how would the world be without Mordecai? Because if Mordecai was never alive,
Yeah.
they would have still killed the Jews.
Yeah.
And then would have still survived longer.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows that Yahweh's hand. And even if, like, and I think to answer your question, even Mordecai goes, even if deliverance can come from somewhere. So even if Mordecai wasn't in the scene, Yahweh's hand will still be there. All right, we can start, friends.
Are you guys staying later today?
No.
Why is Michael here?
Huh?
Michael is here.
Michael? Michael? Okay.
That's my middle name.
You know there's a computer for you, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That's actually my middle name.
Oh, really? Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm gonna click by your middle name now.
Oh. All right, buff sequence. Oh, wait, I muted this. Oh.
Corey, what does bisexual mean?
So
Is that
it It is awesome stuff. Sorry, I was muted there, but I need to put on my headset. My brain gets easily distracted by other sounds. Have we seen this before?
Thou didst me good service, Sirach. I've given thee courtesy enough. Now I fight as Horalu. Warrior!
Now I fight as Horalu. Do you know that classic meme? It's like, Warriors! Come out and play! You know what I'm talking about? Oh. Here. It's like a classic meme scene. Right when he says warriors, I think of this.
Warriors, come out to play.
Oh.
Warriors, come out.
Oh, he didn't. Just look at warriors come out and play. Okay. Oh, let me restart. All right, let's do this.
Oh, you.
All right, buff sequence. All right. Oh. Oh. Did your controller die? Doing what? It stays. That's what's cool about this ability. The lava stays on the floor. Oh, what? He was knocked down and still. Darn it! Oh, that's irritating. Like I knock him down, and the ground effect still went off, and it's like that was. Ah. Try rolling away. All right. Dude, can you imagine like fighting these bosses with only punches? You're only doing 4 damage each punch. That'd be like your Roblox grind game. There. Just leave an AFK clicker on. What? Okay. Roll. Still got hit by it. Okay, game. Oh. Oh. That's an attack. Oh man.
I always get the dumb food.
Yeah. All right. How's our flexible brains? Okay. Sound good. You guys know the steps. Keep fighting him. I'm gonna send my person as far as away as possible. There we go. Oh, ow. You're in the corner. You should probably get out of that. There you go. Let him get out a little bit. There we go.
I don't like.
Oof.
I
Was nobly
So it's like when he does the ground where he makes the rock spies come up. If I roll to the left or to the right, I still get hit. I have to roll back, and that's the unique variable that just there's like the sides like have a delay, and so you could dodge the middle, but if you get hit by the side, if you dodge to the left or right, you get hit by the side. Come on. Oh. Move. Oh, ow. Yeah, that. Oh, what a range. Oh gosh. Oh, that's my death. Hmm. Oh. Oh, come on. Oh my. Oh, so close. We almost got this. All right. Okay. All right, we're at 5. All right, good night, Logan. We'll finish up. All right, Char, Char. Time for us to dip, my friend. Who's it 1v1 with? All right, I want you guys to go full ham, no recovery. First one down is down. All right, guys, I'll be back on tonight. Hope to see you then. Peace.